my girls, okay, here's the bottom line with the girls. You know, we talk about them being reality stars, and a lot of times they talk about, oh, they're famous for being famous and all that kind of stuff. These girls, first of all, being a celebrity is a business, if you look at it that way. And these three girls are businesswomen, number one. Okay? They have seized an opportunity. They have taken that. There's been a lot of people who have gone out there and done television shows, reality shows, all that kind of stuff, and then that's it, you'll never see them again. These girls have been extraordinarily smart and inspiring, mainly because of their mother and their dad. When their father was around, he was a very good businesswoman. You know, but unfortunately he passed on terribly. But their mom kind of took it up. And little did I know when I first met their mom, who was like this fashionista girl, Beverly Hills, that down underneath all of that was a mogul. She's turned into that. She's got a very good, extraordinarily good business sense. And but the bottom line is, these three girls, is they are smart, they have an opportunity, and they're taking that opportunity. They, even with all the rags and all the stuff that you see every week and this and that, they have gotten to the point where they've been around it enough, they kind of laugh it off. We know what the truth is and this and that. And, you know, the rags can get one picture of her not looking, you know, they take thousands and thousands of pictures a day of her, you know, like going like this, and then, oh my God, the whole marriage is falling apart. So, she's used to it, and even Chris, her new husband, says, look, you know, Chris, you haven't been in this business. This is part of it. This is how it works. This is how the business works. And, you know, they're going to say, you know, she's pregnant, and they're going to say they're divorced. And, you know, they'll do that every week. So, you know, just don't take it too seriously. So, these girls, the bottom line is I'm extraordinarily proud of them and their business sense and what they've been able to do. They've taken this opportunity and really run with it from, you know, and for Kimberly and the girls, it's all been based around fashion and design, because they've done that from the beginning. I mean, with Kimberly, before the show was going, I mean, she was written up in LA Business Weekly when she was like 20, 21 years old for the first company she started, which was called Out of the Closet, where she went in as a stylist and redesigned closets for women in Beverly Hills, all her friends. I mean, these are big closets, like Barbara Streisand, you know, Cindy Crawford, and all those people, where she would go in there and, you know, convince them to get rid of things in their closet. Some of these closets were 2,000 square feet. We're talking big. And then she would take those, she would put everything on a computer, so she had it on a computer, and they could go on the computer in their closet to figure out what they wanted to wear that day, and then it was all numbered. And I mean, these were very high-end closets. But then what she would do is she didn't charge for her services. What she took was 30%, and she took those clothes and went on eBay and had her own eBay business of selling clothes. And then she took 30% and gave 70% to the client. And that's how she made money. Well, business started booming. You know, she was just going through the roof. And then this guy at LA Business Weekly, a local business magazine, you know, oh, who's this girl Kim? You know, what's her business? And anyway, she was written up, big pictures, and this was years ago, before the TV show or nothing. So they've always had a very entrepreneurial spirit with that, you know. And it started with her, you know, talking to her dad, said she could buy these boots, you know, inexpensively. And she had a good deal on some boots, and she says, if you let me borrow the money, I'll buy the boots, and then I'll turn around and give you a percentage of what I make on the profit. I mean, she's always been that way. It's pretty cool, you know. But that's a good business sense, you know, good business sense. So that's why the girls, and they are the hardest working girls you'll ever be around. They work 7 days a week. Every day, they never stop. And that's why they're successful. Yes? Either one. Ooh, okay, here's what happened.
Ooh, that's a good one.
What was I going to tell her? You know, since I didn't see the final edit, I didn't see how it came out. This is how it went down.
What happened on the wedding before she walked down the aisle?
I've been sitting around for 2 hours waiting for her. And, you know, finally had the opportunity to see her for the first time, because you know, nobody would ever let me see the dress. God forbid. But this is fine. Yeah, oh, it's funny, my wife, when we first started planning the wedding, she goes, I hear on the intercom in the house go, Ralph, down to the office. I come down to the office and I sit down and I go, okay, we're starting on this wedding, okay? And you cannot say one thing to anybody about this wedding. Do you understand what I'm saying? You cannot talk. Because we've got the television thing, we've got the People magazine, she sold the first rights to the dress, and all this sort of business stuff that she's doing around this wedding. I said, honey, this is how we deal with this, okay? Whenever you're ready, tell me the date and where you want me to stand. And that's all I want to know. Okay? So not knowing anything is good for me. I go to the golf course. That's what I tried to tell Chris Humphreys like 4 or 5 times. Chris, come to the golf course with me. You don't have to. These girls are professionals. They would be over the top great. Just leave it alone and come with me. No. He's got a lot to learn. But we're working on it. He's a work in progress, but he's going to be fine. Don't worry about Chris. Anyway, so I see her, and she looks obviously great. And so honestly, I had some things I was going to say. I had a little prayer I was going to say, and a little bit something about her father, because obviously he wasn't there, and I was walking her down the aisle. And she looks at me before I said anything, and she goes, you say one thing that's going to make me cry. So I thought, okay, plan B, I'm not going to say a word. Let's go hippity hop down the aisle. And actually her dress was so big I couldn't get close to her. So I never heard this. I said, I'm the one who's going to trip. Actually, we did have one little step that her foot got caught in the dress just a little bit, and I saved her. Yeah, we got her down, but no, she did great. It was obviously, you saw it. It was absolutely extraordinary. They did a great job. I mean, that tent. Oh my God, what we had at dinner. They had one side of the house was where the wedding, the aisle was, and all the people were sitting. And then they had this big house, and then they had off on the side, they had a little cocktail reception while we were all taking the pictures and doing all that kind of stuff. But nobody ever saw where the tent was, which was on the other side of the property. And to call this a tent is like, you can't do that. I mean, this was like the Taj Mahal of tents. And I go walking over there, and all of a sudden you see this massive, I mean, just spectacular. It's just over the top. Over the top. Yeah, it was great. It was exactly the way she wanted it. So, just the way the girls like it. Big and over the top. Yes. Couple more. I'm sorry. Could you stand up?